Well, that's a lot easier. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Aquarius's highest good. How is Aquarius feeling in these final days of June and beginning days of July 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for Aquarius, please. The Ace of Swords. Major clarity, truth, major revelation, a confession coming from you. What have you realised? What have you got to tell someone? The Hermit. Okay, so out of all the zodiac signs, you're the first one to get this this week. The Hermit is, in the story of the Major Arcana, it's when the Fool realises that he must walk this part of the journey alone. The answers lie within him, okay? So walking with another person and asking them for the answer isn't going to help. If the issue's about you and something you're feeling, you're the only one that can tell people, you know, like, I feel like this, I feel like that. You can't ask other people how you're feeling. In a relationship, you know the part that you played, you know the part that your person played. Other people will not really be able to guide you on that as much as you can, because they weren't there, they didn't witness it, they didn't see it, they don't know what it's like, okay, to be in a relationship with that person. People can listen, but sometimes you need to just shut out all the noise, all the judgment, and you need to just go inward, okay? Listen to your internal compass. What am I being told to do here? How do I feel? What is the reaction in my body? What am I thinking, you know, when I think about the future? What am I thinking when I think about the present? How does my body react? The answers lie within you, Aquarius. It's not for anyone else to tell you how you feel. A period of deep contemplation, a period of being alone a lot, having a lot of time to yourself, and not being involved romantically, because trying to process what's happened previously and where we're going. The Knight of Swords reversed. This is something you really feel like you want to get off your chest really, really quickly, aggressively so, and yet you're not doing it. You're holding that information back, that communication back. Typical air sign, all up in your head. Okay, so the one that's showing up for you, your person, is a Knight of Pentacles. Okay, someone wants to make you an offer. It's not someone that you've had a relationship with. You could have been involved with them romantically, but it wouldn't have got to the point where you had a full-blown relationship. Okay, this is someone that has been dating you and that wants to make you an offer. This is investment. This is serious, okay? So a Knight of Cups is romantic. They only have eyes for one person. That's about feelings and emotions, a cup of emotion. Wands is phallic, it's about sex. You know, that is purely like who I fancy, who I lust over, who I want to sleep with. That doesn't mean that you want to make a future with that person. A Knight of Pentacles is serious, okay? They want to create the Ten of Pentacles, lasting generational wealth. Hi, welcome into the chat. The Knight of Pentacles moves slowly. They're earthly, okay? They deal with earthly matters like money, investment, assets. This is someone that wants to be there. They want to be there for the long haul, okay? The intention is all good. Okay, so next they've got the King of Wands. So they're going from the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Two of Cups, the Five of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. Goodness me. There's so much fire and emotion here. So this person isn't doing it because it's financially viable and it's a smart match financially. They're doing it because they're completely head over heels in love. This is someone who's very steady, very ambitious, very goal orientated. They could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. They don't have to be. They could just be someone who's really driven, highly focused on abundance, career, prospects. They're feeling very turned on, very hot and heavy. This is full throttle, okay? And it's because they're in love and they believe that the two of you could be in love with each other. I don't think there's arguments or conflict. I think if there is, the size of this wand, it doesn't matter what other people think. They're just like, I fucking love this person. I love them. I'm in love with them. They're in love with me. Kings are very ambitious. King of Wands, very stable energy. They have a lot of ego, a lot of pride. If they've picked you, then you should be flattered, Aquarius. They could have responsibilities, they could have a really good job, they could have a home, they could have children. It's a new energy, okay? It's relatively new because they show up initially as a Knight of Pentacles that would like to invest in the future. I'm not answering like questions like that. That was really rude and bossy. I don't like the way you wrote all those messages. That's really bossy. I'm in the middle of a reading that you're interrupting. So if you need to go, that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can only record this once and you're like hammering me with messages and then saying you're going to leave if I don't reply. That's just rude. My time's important as well. My time's important as well. Okay, so I've got the sign of Aquarius up. It says weekly all signs love readings. I don't need to explain anything to you. It's a tarot card reading. Do you know what I mean? Why are you watching tarot if you don't know what it is? And why are you asking me personal questions if you know that I don't answer them? That's not what this is. Ugh. Right, Queen of Pentacles in the challenge position. The Queen of Pentacles is a solid provider. It's Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. She's a nurturer. Her love language is to gift. Okay, so whether this is a man or a woman, they are responsible. Okay, this is someone that will make sure the bills are paid on time. Things are taken care of. The house is clean and tidy. They like to be organised. They like a nice home environment. They like to nurture. They like to have nice things. They like to earn money, save money, spend money. That's in the challenge position. So we've got incredible amounts of passion, lots of emotion, and then the challenge is, can we be stable? Can I be a nurturer in this? You know, can that be my role? At the moment, I'm a King of Wands. I'm masculine. I am in charge. I'm confident. I'm focused on career, you know, like the future. But I would like to be a nurturer. I would like to be someone that has a routine and is settled. Someone that's caring. Someone that's in their feminine energy. Okay, this person's having to be very, very strong and stoic, and they would like to be more feminine and nurturing. It's a mature energy. You've got some sort of clarity, revelation. Then you've got this hermit energy. We're going into a period of isolation, putting some distance, some walls up, and then there's some kind of urgent message, but you're not delivering it. So let's see. Let's get 3 cards for the outcome. The 9 of Wands is the challenge. Okay, so the wounded warrior, something's been challenging. Each wand represents a new challenge. But with the 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior, even though they're incurring injury or repetitive strain or whatever it is, they're still willing to continue. Now, I don't know whether this person's willing to continue. I don't know whether you're willing to continue, because it's Wands, I feel like it's their energy. They very much want this. They've got King of Wands, they've got 5 of Wands, Ace of Wands. So I feel like it's their energy with the 9 of Wands. The Moon card, okay, so in the story of the Major Arcana, with this Pisces energy, it's water energy, it's heavy emotion. The Fool realises that he must walk forwards anyway, even if things are not illuminated, even if many things are hidden. We don't know what's ahead exactly. We must walk forward anyway. This person's willing to continue, even though they're scared. They realise that they must do it anyway. You could have blocked communication with this person, you know. Right, we've got the 5 of Cups upright, the Queen of Swords upright, the 4 of Swords reversed, and the 10 of Swords reversed. Wow. 5 of Cups is grief, sadness, loss, regret. Queen of Swords is someone who's delivering the truth. That is no nonsense energy, you know. She's not hasty. She's sat in her power. She's telling the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And, you know, if there's any messing about, it's like, I'm going to chop your head off. It's not a manipulative energy. If she was reversed, it'd be manipulative. It could be, you know, nasty communication, but she's upright, so she's just saying it how it is. And then we've got this restless energy, and then just dropping of the burdens. So I don't know if this is you or them, because these are the outcome cards, but you have the Ace of Swords. Okay, this person doesn't have any swords. It's all wands, it's all excitement, it's all earthy, fiery. Yours is all swords. Okay, you got the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Swords, so I'm inclined to think that it's you. Maybe you've got regrets about something, or maybe you're going to end this for good and clear that up, and they're just like, it's like all this pain that you've been holding, you're going to get it off your chest. Or if you've got, you know, sadness and regrets about losing this person, maybe you're going to tell them and get it off your chest. I don't know. Because you're showing up as a knight, I'm thinking this is someone that you're not currently attached to. But then you do show up as a queen. They're showing up as a king and then a queen. They initially show up as a page. I just feel like it's someone who you were seeing but not, it never got established. And I think it ended and you've got serious regrets over it. And that's possibly what you're communicating. There's so much air energy, so many thoughts, so much verbiage, so much thinking. It's like insane amounts. In the outcome, it feels better to get it off your chest. You know, it feels a lot better to get it off your chest. Let's clarify their feelings, because you know what you're feeling and why. Why have they got the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands? Oops. Drowning. You are going under and barely keeping things afloat. Ask for help. Conquest. Just another notch in the headboard or the real deal. Actions speak the loudest. Yeah, like this person doesn't want to be just a conquest. They actually want the real deal. You know, the passion is there, everything's insanely hot as hell, but they want to invest. They want to be a Queen of Pentacles, they don't want to be a King of Wands. Leadership's law, dominant in spirit. This is them, isn't it? Dominant in spirit. Yeah, they're willing to fight for this. They don't care what other people think about it. Dominant in spirit, fueled by pride, yet true control lies in wisdom's embrace. Hidden thorns, look beyond the romance to discern true intentions. They worry about what your intentions are. Have you got a flight plan? Sometimes things fall apart for better things to come. Yeah, this person wants investment. They're very earthy. Okay, they like to be solid, secure, settled. They like to be exclusive. They like traditional setups, and they're wondering what it is that you want out of this. putting on a show. They've got a lot of pride, this person, so if you turn them down or it doesn't go their way, they're not going to make themselves vulnerable or cry. Okay, that this is like under lock and key. This is under wraps, how they feel about you. I think they would be unlikely to express it if you didn't prompt the conversation. I don't think they're going to be the one to start it, which is crazy, but you'll reap the rewards if you approach them. Okay, it's just that they don't want to risk being vulnerable and putting themselves out there to get turned down. They don't look like a fool. It's not because they don't want it. They really, really, really want this. If fate brought us together, why won't it let us be? Yeah, so like circumstances could have pulled the two of you apart, and this person is constantly like wondering, like they're looking out for you, they want to try and see your face somewhere, like they might frequent places that they think that you'll be, or you know, they're hoping that somehow you'll be brought back together. It's someone who's very intuitive, very spiritual. It's not, for them, it's not like the average connection, that they recognise there's something profound, something different, something very intense about it, something very, you know, they think you'd be like the ultimate power couple, okay? Because there's something ethereal about this, there's something 5D about it. They're hoping that you'd be brought back together. Let's get one more clarifier and then we'll get advice. Yeah, okay, they're like, they're really, this person's got their ears open. If they heard your name mentioned, they would be like, all eyes would be on that, you know, conversation, all ears would be pricked. Like, this person has got the feelers out and they are like, they're just trying to pick up on any vibrations, absolutely anything to do with you, Aquarius, because they are like super invested, more than ever. And it's like they're struggling to know what's going on. You know, maybe there's been no contact for a really long time. They just want to know. They want to know. They want information. Someone's got their eye on you. You are doing your research. They got two personalities. They got how everyone sees them on the outside, and then they got everything they're thinking and feeling on the inside. You know? It's all under lock and key. Oops. They're either just very prideful or something about this is taboo or, you know, not socially acceptable. Or it hasn't worked out for them in the past to make themselves vulnerable. Let's get some advice for you, Aquarius. Vast vistas, expand your horizons. Protected by angels. You are cherished by the angels, Aquarius. Staying focused, hold the course. Okay, whatever path you've started down, if it's the beginning of a new adventure, you're being encouraged to continue. Okay, you're highly favoured, highly protected. Your spirit team are right beside you. Anyone that you've loved and lost is right beside you. Okay, rooting for you. And it's going to work out, whatever it is. Gaia. The frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our Great Mother and to the universe that birthed us all. Your spirit team are like working overdrive for you at the moment. It's a very important time. A time of huge change. In sacred geometry, you are a part of that pattern. You're not separate to the flower of life. You're one of the dots on it. Okay, we're all interconnected. In our brains, we remove ourselves from planet Earth and we constantly talk as if we're separate to it, but we're not. We're part of the universe. Okay, so the universe is wonder, the universe is mystery, it's good luck, the flow of money, the flow of love. You do a hit. Because it's like a big circuit where it's all flowing around constantly, so you can't miss it. You can't miss what's meant for you. You're starting to feel removed from everything. Remember that you're not. You're in good company. Okay? You're in very good hands. What are you showing up as at the moment, Aquarius? A deer. Okay, deers are silent, they are watchful, huge ears to listen out for danger. There is threats around, but you're well equipped to deal with them, okay? Deers, they're wild, they make careful moves. They're very, very sensitive to the vibrations around them. They also move quite slowly. They take their time to graze. They do what needs to be done. They're not going to shy away from what they're supposed to be doing. They're just innately doing it. Only be afraid when there's reason to be afraid. Until then, you can have a little bit of a guard up, but you can't let it inhibit you from doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. I don't know if that makes sense, but don't become like a prisoner of your own mind. You still need to find a way to move freely, even when there's challenges, even when there's perceived threats. We can't let it paralyze us. We've got to find a way to keep free, to keep wild, to keep able to, we shouldn't just be in survival mode all the time. And I feel like a deer could end up in survival mode all the time. You know what they don't do? They don't stay by themselves all the time. Like they ask for support, they ask for help, they gather together, don't they? And the young ones stay with the older ones, and I think they're herd animals, they're pack animals, so I would make sure that you are confiding in people, that you are picking carefully who you spend time with, but that you do get that support as well. You're being encouraged to, graze on pastures new, to move to a different part of the woods, to move to a different woods. You're protected. Stay focused on this journey. You may have played it cautious previously, okay, because there's regret here. There's revelations, there's deep, thought processing going on with the Hermit energy. And there's someone that you've been separated from. And I think Deers can be overly cautious, but that's the message anyway. Let's see if there's a timing for when you and this person will be reunited. It says not anytime soon, no need to hurry. Perhaps you're on a bit of a journey of self-discovery at the moment, okay? I'm not saying you're a hot mess necessarily, but I don't think the one that you like's going anywhere, okay? I think they've got a little place in their heart for you that's always going to be there, and so you can always return to this. It's not like something that's time pressured. It's different, okay? It's not something that's on a timer, so you haven't got to put that pressure on yourself. And certain situations may not allow for it as they are right now, so... They don't want to be just a conquest, okay? It's deeper for them than that, but they're not gonna let anyone know that. It's someone who's really protecting themselves. They want to invest though, don't forget that. There's someone earthy, like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They want investment. They want to be able to calm down and not be a King of Wands. They want to be a Queen of Pentacles. They want to be in their feminine energy, playing a more nurturing role, calm, less fiery. They could have fire in their chart as well as earth. If you liked this reading, if it resonates, please give it a like, share, subscribe, support the channel, follow. And I'll see you in the next one, Aquarius.